We are Daryl and Kathy, and we have just embarked on a huge adventure. Join us as we begin our sailing journey on sailing vessel Disa. The Greek islands are a truly amazing cruising ground with spectacular anchorages, crystal clear water, and summer temperatures that make you want to strip off and dive into the sea. Greece is also a fascinating place to discover ancient history, and in this episode we are going to take you back in time. Today's story takes place in the Ambracian Gulf, shown in the red circle here. This is Aktio Marina, where hundreds and hundreds of boats are stored. It's also the place where we found our boat. It's built on the site of the ancient town of Aktio. Just opposite Aktio is the city of Preveza. On this map, you can see that Preveza and Aktio are separated by a small strip of water. This is the strip where our boat is anchored. It's hard to believe that in this peaceful spot a violent naval battle took place on the 2nd of September 31 BC. 7,500 men died in that battle. It all started with Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar was a dictator in Rome. He played a critical role in the collapse of the constitutional Roman Republic and the rise of the autocratic Roman Empire. He was assassinated by his own senators, stabbing him 23 times. In his will, he named his great-nephew Octavian, also called Gaius Octavius, as his adopted son and heir. Octavian inherited the title and the name Caesar Augustus. Octavian got together with two buddies, Mark Antony and Marcus Lepidus, and they formed a triumvirate, a threesome, to defeat the assassins of Caesar. They then divided the Roman Republic among themselves and became de facto dictators in their regions. As time went by, power struggles emerged between the three buddies. On one occasion, Mark Antony and Octavian almost got to fighting, but managed to patch things up by Mark Antony marrying Octavian's sister. But at the same time, Mark Antony was having an affair with Cleopatra, Queen of Egypt. The hostilities between the two former friends erupted into war. The Battle of Actium was a naval battle fought between the maritime fleet of Octavian and the combined fleets of both Mark Antony and Cleopatra. All of this happened right here between Preveza and Aktio Marina, in this very spot where we're enjoying a romantic meal at sunset. Octavian was victorious. Antony and Cleopatra fled to Egypt, where eventually they both committed suicide. Octavian decided to celebrate his victory by building a new city called Victory City or Nicopolis. He then forced people from nearby towns and villages to relocate to Nicopolis. At its peak, Nicopolis was a huge city with 150,000 residents. Even the Apostle Paul visited there in the winter of 65-66. He wrote to his friend Titus in Crete, "Do your best to come to me at Nicopolis, because I've decided to winter here." Today, the ruins of Nicopolis lie just north of the modern city of Preveza, which has less than a quarter of the number of people that Nicopolis had. One of the towns whose residents were forced to relocate to Nicopolis was Anactorium, close to the modern town of Vonitsa. We visited Vonitsa, which has a lovely castle on the hill. Vonitsa has been conquered and reconquered many times from the 10th century onwards by the Romans, the Venetians, the Turks, and even the French. In 1070, the Venetians were given commercial privileges in Vonitsa and a permit to build a castle. Today we're climbing the hill to go and visit the castle. It's a beautiful little town. Wonder how old it is. Kind of brown probably. The entrance to the fortress is hidden behind a tower. This is typical of medieval warfare, when attacks were conducted using battering rams. A lateral gate increased the exposure of the assailants. An inner circle of walls was strengthened by round towers, and the inner circle was on higher ground, making it harder to attack if the assailants had managed to breach the outer wall. Finally, there was a stronghold in the center for key buildings, including the residence of the commander. Wow, what a beautiful view! And there, alone on the bay, is our beautiful boat. And here's the castle. Yeah, so that's where the soldiers would have gone. It's so amazing to climb up on a hill and look down and see our boat on the bay like that.
Fighting you. What chance you're gonna get killed?
What do you see, babe? Oh wow, beautiful view.
This boat's that side also.
Oh, on the other side of that little island.
Check out, they've been taking stones on the mountain.
Wow. Oh wow. view just gets better and better. Amazing. Wow. Well, it's time to leave Vonitsa and head further on our travels. One of the fascinating aspects of sailing in Greece is that you're surrounded by history wherever you go. You can imagine the ancient battles that took place and the rise and fall of kingdoms and allegiances. If you've enjoyed this little meander through history today, then please won't you give us a thumbs up, show us some love, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. See you next time.